Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at one of our admitted student events. My name is Emilio from the Undergraduate Admissions Office. Here with us today are some of my colleagues from the Career Center who will be either behind the scenes assisting with that Q&A section or presenting to you all about the topic of experiential education. I want to thank you all again for attending today's Learning by Doing the Values of Jobs, Internships, and Experiences events. It's great to see that prospective students are already thinking about the importance of experiential learning. Just to go over some logistics here, please feel free to utilize that Q&A section throughout the presentation. We will actively be answering those questions throughout the presentation, so please do not hesitate to use that feature. Also, please keep in mind that if we do not get to your questions today, we encourage you to reach out to our undergraduate admissions office at a later time so we can either answer those questions or, of course, refer you to the Career Center. Right, so at this point, I am going to pass it over to our presenter, Ursula, who will introduce herself and the other presenters as well.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We are so excited to actually be able to speak to you and present not only our view on experience and what is the value of all of the amazing things that you will be doing at Stony Brook University, but also present to you a few students, 4 of our superstars that will be sharing experiences they had so far at Stony Brook University, and they are not graduating yet, so they have 1 more year left of their experience at Stony Brook, and they will be answering questions as well. So I want to just start with, quick introduction. What is the topic of today's session? We will be discussing different types of experiences and giving you some tips and some resources how to go about to find experience, not only on campus, but also off campus, based on your interests and those students who not necessarily may know where they want to be after the next 4 years. We also will be able to provide you with different resources too. So who is joining me today is Tara Campbell, a student employment specialist. She's going to speak to you in a few minutes, but I want to start with going over some experiences and giving you some ideas. Where should you start? What is the timeline? How you should plan all of these experiences and implementing them in your future academic career. And we will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. So as you know, that very popular form of experience is an internship. However, in addition to internships, there are a lot of different things that you will be able to do when you are in college. Not only, you will be able to secure student employment positions that Tara is going to show you a little bit more where to find them, and also volunteer positions, leadership roles in many different ways, not only through student groups and organizations, but through different committees, through different academic departments. Job shadowing, it's not only job shadowing is not only connected to healthcare. There is a lot of different opportunities for other industries to conduct job shadowing as well. And primarily research. A lot of our students who come to Stony Brook, they're interested in doing research. So we will give you a little bit more information about, how to connect with faculty members and how to go about in applying to research opportunities and where to find them. And part-time positions. Part-time positions are primarily off campus with different types of employers that we work with, but there are a lot of different ways to actually make money as you go to school. Our vision through the Career Center is to make sure that our students will be supported in many different ways. So experiences, when we're talking about experiences, we encourage our employers to pay our students to be able to support themselves and take advantage of not only gaining skills, but also, gaining experience towards your future industry and job that you will be applying for after graduation, or professional program in graduate school. Co-ops, for those students who are going to engineering or computer science, this is a very famous form of experience that students can take actually for a duration of 6 months or 1 semester and work directly with the employer on full-time basis. So as you can see, a lot of these experiences courses will have different time commitments. And time commitment, especially when you're coming into freshman year, is very important. So the planning process, it's crucial when you start Stony Brook career, and you're gonna be starting your freshman year. Think about what kind of classes you're taking, how much time you will be devoting to studying, and how much time you have on hands that you will be able to do something else. I would highly recommend the freshman year you would devote to some engagement with student groups and activities, that you will look into volunteer opportunities. First semester, do not overwhelm yourself with a lot of experiences at the same time, because you have to learn I would say the life in college, and get advice from other peers, and adjust to campus altogether. So moving a little bit more into why these internships are so important. Experiences altogether are very important. As many of you know, you come into college to get education and wind up either way in graduate school or getting this dream job that is going to wait for you after graduation. Internships are not only will give you experience, but they will give you introduction to the industry that you are interested. They will teach you new skills and competencies that you will be able to shine with later when you apply to other positions, but also in many cases make money or get credit, academic credit through internship opportunities as well. So just quickly give you an idea that a lot of our students at Stony Brook have different opportunities. They can do internships in many different ways. They can gain credit for internship and count these courses as elective courses towards graduation. And some others will decide to do internships with no credit. But many others will be getting internships for pay and for credit. So there are many different opportunities. It would be up to you to decide, how many credits do you want to get for a specific internship. If you don't want to get credits, you want to just make money and you want to primarily get the industry experience to gain skills from the specific industry. And now we are in COVID life, which is much different than it was before. College life changed tremendously. And so experiences that are being presented to our students. We work with many, many employers to come up with different ways to present students with different ways to gain experience. So the traditional internships still exist, but many employers are actually creating opportunities for our students to gain experience remotely. So as you can see, some of them are, and many of them actually, many employers transitioned a lot of internship opportunities to remote opportunities with hope that, after the summer, some internships will be in person. We have a lot of employers that we work with through our office who actually prefer to have students on their sites and working with them directly, but some others will continue with remote internships based on the industry, based on their needs. Project-based learning, we have a lot of opportunities that we incorporate experiences into coursework. We work with faculty, we bring employees to the classroom to give students opportunity to gain experience through industry projects in the classroom. So you would be working directly with faculty on different industry projects with employers. Service learning projects, we have a lot of courses that actually incorporate service learning. What this means that many students work with community agencies, not only on Long Island, but across New York and beyond New York, and help communities based on their interests. And micro-internships. Micro-internships is a new form of mini projects that are actually open to our students at Stony Brook to gain experience through the duration, for example, between 2 weeks, 4 weeks to 6 weeks to 2 months. So depending on the project, depending on employer, you will be able to gain this experience as well. It's very flexible. It's always paid. As we discussed before, all of the experience that I reviewed with you they will be helping students, and they always help students with gaining more skills and competencies. The main skills they're identified by employers are communication skills, digital technology, global understanding, leadership, problem solving, professionalism, career management, and teamwork. Every experience that you will be able to get at Stony Brook University, if this is on campus or off campus, will equip you with these 8 and many more in addition to these 8 skills, and students will be career ready and will be prepared to actually shine within future interviews, if this is going to be for a future job or a graduate program, a medical school, whatever next journey you want to decide to go. All of the skills will blend into, along with the academic preparation, into really making our Seawolves ready for any other steps that they will take after graduation. And now we want to just introduce you to one of our platforms that all of you will have access to. I want to introduce Tara, and she's going to take over.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So there's already been a few questions about working on campus and finding experience. So the main platform the Career Center uses is our Handshake platform. This platform is going to allow you to do pretty much anything you could want to do in relation to careers. So this is how you're going to mainly connect with our office and make appointments with us. But this is where you're also going to find a ton of different job and internship opportunities. On Handshake, there are opportunities to find positions that are in person, remote, as well as hybrid. And there's jobs that are located all over the US if you're not going to be currently in Stony Brook. This is also our main platform for posting anything that is on campus. So for those of you asking about on-campus positions, all of our on-campus jobs will be posted on Handshake. There's a few different ways to kind of sort and search through jobs on Handshake. So you can kind of sort by position type. So if you're looking for something that's part-time, full-time, an internship, student employment, you have the option to sort by type. You also have the option to look by industry. So pretty much any industry you could be interested in is available on Handshake. And also by career community. So our office is set up so that way we have a career communities model where we have arts and communication, business, education and helping, government and public service, healthcare, IT and engineering, and applied science and research. So you can also kind of sort by those labels as well to find ones that we have labeled as good for those communities. You also have the opportunity on here to go through and learn more about the employers. You can click through, you can take a look and see. So let's say a job pops up that you're interested in. Once you click on it, you can learn more about what the employer does, a little description, where they're located. So this is going to be kind of your main tool for applying to jobs, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, and internships over the summer as well. Okay. So we wanted to touch on a couple of quick benefits and perks of getting experience on campus. So we are currently in the process of rolling out a new program called ACES, which stands for Awarding Credentials for Experiences and Skills. And what this is a micro credential, or you might also look at it as a digital badge, right? For those of you who aren't familiar with that term. What this is, it's a way to recognize students for their accomplishments and for their hard work on campus. Students are taking these micro-credentials and they're putting them on LinkedIn where employers can see them. They're putting them on their resumes. They're talking about them on interviews. So this is just one way to help you stand out in an increasingly digital world. We only allow students to pursue these credentials if they have had at least 50 hours in an experience. So once you get some type of part-time job or part-time internships, you're able to connect with us to see if it would be possible to complete one of these micro-credentials. So just a little bit more about why you would want to do this. So right now, 87% of recruiters use LinkedIn to check candidates. So that means, when you're submitting an application somewhere, one of the first things most employers are going to do is look you up online, right? So we want to make sure that you guys all have probably heard, make sure your social media is clean, right? But in addition, you don't just want to make sure nothing bad comes up, but you want to make sure that there's also great things coming up that are going to help sell you to an employer, right? And this is one of the things that are going to help you do that, getting these micro-credentials. 91% of employers are currently using social media to hire, and 82% of companies attract passive candidates through social media recruitment. So kind of the more you can get a positive brand image out there online, that's kind of the new way to find jobs and internships. So this will kind of help you do that. Okay, so a quick note on our partnership council. So we have employers who are really passionate about working with Stony Brook students and who want to work with us as much as possible. So these employers have info sessions with us. They're mentors in some of our mentoring programs. They attend all of our job fairs. They do whatever they can to connect with Stony Brook students. So you'll learn more about them if you decide to come to Stony Brook, which I hope you all do. But these are some of the main companies that we work with that offer opportunities to students that are really passionate about hiring here. Okay.
Now we're gonna introduce our superstars, as we call them, our amazing students that we have a privilege actually to work with. They have experience from across different areas, and that's why we brought them here to showcase to you like what can you do and what kind of resources and where to go to find it. So it's the best way to hear from students. So you will be able to really ask questions of them also, how they did it themselves when they started as freshmen. So maybe I'm going to start with introduction. I don't know. I'm just going to mention the names and the majors of our students and the year. All of them are actually juniors. I just realized when I put the dates of graduations that all of our students are juniors. Waverly is the business management major, Nadia biochemistry, Daphne business management and economics, and Emilio biology. So we have students from different areas, and I want to just start with the first question. I would like to ask our students to introduce themselves and tell us why you chose your major. Maybe we can start with Waverly.
Thank you, Ursula. Hi, my name is Waverly Alkier. As Ursula mentioned, I'm a business management major with a double specialization in operations management and marketing. So when I came to college, I always had an entrepreneurial mindset, and I was looking for an educational setting where I could learn more about the field and what it has to offer. So my experience in the classroom and through extracurriculars that we'll talk a little bit more about later in project management, in consulting cases, and hands-on learning definitely solidified that I made the right decision.
Okay, now maybe Emilio.
No, absolutely. All right. So my name is Emilio, like she mentioned. I'm a junior and a biology major, also pursuing a minor in Latin American and Caribbean studies. And the way I came upon my major was because I wanted to have a little bit more flexibility in terms of what I wanted to do after my undergraduate. I got my undergraduate degree. So I'm interested in pre-med. I'm a pre-med student, a pre-health student like Nadia. And I wanted to have a little flexibility because I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a physical therapist, if I wanted to go into medicine and pursue a medical school route. So having that biology major gave me the ability to go a little bit further on in my career and be able to gain experiences throughout my time at Stony Brook that would help me make that decision a little bit later on.
Okay, we're going to move on to Daphne.
Hi, everyone. So as Ursula mentioned, I am a junior double majoring in business management and economics with a marketing specialization. And I actually came into Stony Brook as a business major. And then later on, I decided to add economics after I realized I really loved the analytical thinking, and I felt that it could really complement my marketing specialization. I loved marketing because of how creative it could be, and I really want to supplement this with a major that was very heavy on critical thinking and exploring patterns in markets.
Okay, and Nadia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nadia. I am a biochemistry major. And initially, I thought I was going to pursue pharmacy, and biochemistry was the closest to that. But the past 3 years, I realized pre-med is more of my thing, and something that interested me was the health disparities in the healthcare industry. So that is why, and biochemistry is great still because it fulfills a lot of the prereqs for medical school. So I stuck with it.
Okay, thank you so much. And as many of you know, that I'm the person who is always very passionate about learning by doing. So let's go to experiences and ask you some questions about your own experiences. What experiences have you had so far? Which experience did you enjoy the most and why? Maybe we can start with Nadia.
Sure. So many of my experience are actually on-campus experiences. So for example, I work for campus residency. So I've been a conference assistant over the summer for like incoming high school students, and I'm currently a resident assistant. Along with that, I've been involved with some clubs like Alpha Omega Epsilon, which is a STEM sorority, as well as Project Sunshine and Camp Kesem, which work with children, and peer education such as Red Watch Band. And most importantly, that has helped me so much is working with the Career Center. So I've been a part of the Future Ready student program, as well as currently a career coach intern. I enjoyed pretty much all my experiences thus far. Like I love working with children, but the most beneficial one for me was definitely just working at the Career Center. I learned so much about how to navigate my career, especially since I didn't really have a figure to look up to on how to do it. Like all my older siblings, they're kind of doing their own thing. And so it was a great help just seeing like Ursula and Katie, who is the healthcare expert, very frequently to help me progress in my career choices.
Thank you, Nadia. Maybe Daphne?
Yeah, so a few experiences I've had so far would be I was an undergraduate college fellow for the Arts, Culture, and Humanities Undergraduate College. So when you enter as a freshman at Stony Brook, everyone gets placed in different colleges, and it helps to reduce how big the campus might feel. Additionally, I am a DPLN student, and I'm also a marketing intern at the Career Center. And being an intern at the Career Center has definitely been the experience I've enjoyed the most, just because I feel like as an intern here, they really value your voice. And I really feel that they listen to my ideas and they really care about my creativity and what I can bring to the table. For example, last semester, I got to help with putting together an event called An Evening with the Industry Pros, which is a really cool networking event. And it just showed how they are willing to take into account all your ideas and do whatever it takes to support you and execute them with you.
Thank you so much, Daphne. Emilio?
Yeah, of course. So I have the pleasure of being a student athlete on campus as well. So I'm a member of the men's soccer team. That's one of my favorite experiences, obviously, that I've had on campus. And then right alongside that would definitely be, not to sound like a broken record, honestly, but being an intern at the Career Center has really been one of the greatest experiences that I've had so far in my career. Alongside with that, definitely being a member of the DPLN program that Dabney mentioned. So that's the Diversity Professional Leadership Networking Program for students who are part of underrepresented communities on campus. I'm lucky enough to be a part of that program as well, where I was paired with a mentor who is in a professional background that I'm interested in pursuing as well. And that's honestly been a great experience as well, getting the opportunity to have a mentor paired with me who happened to also be a student athlete and understand the experiences that I've gone through, be able to guide me and give me advice throughout my career is definitely an experience that I'm really grateful for and that I can't say enough about. So those are definitely my three experiences that I've enjoyed the most.
Okay, and now Waverly.
Similar to everyone else, one of my favorite experiences was being an operations and talent management intern at the Career Center. It really helped in develop my professionalism and gain on hands-on experience, as well as you see the people around you really value what you have to offer and trust you. For example, we're working a lot with recruitment for our internship programs for next year. And we go through the entire process as interns, from reviewing resumes to interviewing, and that's been really exciting to do. Another experience is I'm also a resident assistant, like Nadia, so it's really enjoyable to have a leadership role and help develop and engage the Stony Brook community. So I work with first year students, so you might see me next year. And it's been great to see how willing everyone is to learn and grow.
Thank you so much to all of you. I do promise to all of the new students, incoming students, we are not trying to sell the Career Center internship to all of you, but we have a robust internship program like many other departments. We started many, many years ago, and we expanded the program to 25 students. And I want to mention that not only our office, but many other departments implemented internship programs on campus. So students who don't have necessary a car transportation to go off campus, they would be able to get credit-bearing internships on our campus. So a lot of students take advantage of these opportunities to gain experiences on campus, but we tell them, go out there during the summer and look for other experiences elsewhere beyond Stony Brook campus. So summer is the perfect time to actually find industry experiences elsewhere. And many of you probably are thinking about research in the future. So research is a really a treasure of Stony Brook University. Many faculty offer research opportunities. So I want to ask our students, what experiences, how do you recommend connecting with faculty at Stony Brook University? Maybe I can ask Nadia.
Sure. So the best way to connect with faculty is actually through office hours. You know, your professors, you always see them, and they have office hours for you to take advantage of. That's the best way to not only show that you're engaged in their class, but also take the opportunity to get to know them, ask them if there are any opportunities in the field or research, especially because there's like Eureka and and a lot of the faculty actually do their own research too. So it really does push you to take initiative to be willing to ask. So just ask, and you'd be surprised how like willing they are to help you or connect you to other professors or other people in their network. So that's honestly the best way. Office hours is the best way to do it.
Any other advice from other students?
I could add to this. When I was a freshman, I would always go to the walk-in advising hours because they host them specifically for first-year students. It's the undergraduate college advising. And essentially, you could just walk in, and if you had a question, you would just get online, and they'd pair you with an available advisor and answer your question. So that was a really great way when I was first new to the university. And then from then, I would definitely attend office hours, like Nadia mentioned. And then as you develop relationships with professors you're comfortable with, you can start emailing them and just asking them questions outside of the class, and they're always willing to help you, whether it be like professional advice or just other questions about school.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? We are good to go.
Hey, Ursula, we actually have some great questions within the chat.
Okay,
So maybe I can just repeat them out loud, and maybe you
absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So we do have a really great question here. When can you get involved with internships, research on campus, and jobs? Can one get involved with them as early as their freshman year?
That's a very good question. So we in the Career Center, we always tell students, start as soon as you can. And freshman year, and I'm going to ask our students to actually tell you a little bit about it, but I have to tell you that 4 years will pass by very quickly. And we work in our office for some time. We work with students from freshman year to senior year. So you start to have the connection with students in freshman year. And as I said before, just think about the timeline, what kind of classes you have. If you have organic chem, try not to involve yourself in the position that it's going to require 30 hours per week commitment. So balance your work with other commitments, but absolutely, as soon as you're going to get on campus, I would investigate what can I do. And I wanted to tell you, a lot of freshmen actually, they think, oh, nobody from faculty is going to take me. I'm a freshman. I don't know anything. I didn't have research experience. And I cannot tell you, our faculty love freshmen, especially freshmen when they are in the second semester. They will be, moving on into sophomore year. They want to hire them because they want to keep them longer. They don't want to retrain new students. So that's the pleasure to actually be a younger student, because you can get into these experiences much sooner and have a commitment of longer commitment with the faculty throughout your college life. So absolutely. I don't know if any of our students would like to add anything about that.
Yeah, I can add something. So when I was a freshman, I was always going to the job internship fairs, even though I knew, well, I had a feeling that not necessarily someone was going to hire me, but I think it was great to get myself out there and make connections with some of the employers. And everyone there had a really positive attitude and wasn't like, you're a freshman, I don't want to hire you. They were more open and they were like, you're a freshman, wow, I'm so proud that you're here. I'm glad that you're engaged and you're willing to learn. And I think it's a great way to stand out to get involved as early as you can.
Perfect, thank you. I'll move on to the next question, which I think is a really good question for our student panelists here. But have any of you took part in any programs or jobs that can relate directly to your major?
I could start with this question. So last semester I was actually part of a program we have with one of the companies from our partnership council. Actually, it's Broadridge. They host a program called the Broadridge Executive in Residence Program for business students. And essentially what it is a project-based class where you are given a project that a problem they're facing in the company, and they ask you to develop a team to form a solution. So this was directly related to business because we were expected to solve how to connect millennials and Gen Z via like their investor communications. And we developed a solution through augmented reality. And this program really just allows you to exercise everything you've learned within the business major and apply it in a real world setting and then get to present it in front of Broadridge executives. So that program, and as well as my internship now, since I'm a marketing specialization, both directly correlate to my major.
Perfect, great, thanks. We do have another question here too, and I think this is another great question for our panelists here, but this question is about how do you balance both your internship, experiential learning with your schoolwork as well?
Well, I don't know about the other panelists, but I use Google Calendar extensively. Like I rely on it like it's my life. But definitely that way, like I keep an agenda. I just make sure I keep taking notes as I go because it does get busy, right? Depending on the classes you're taking and what other commitments you have. At the end of the day, it's not necessarily time management, but it's priorities, right? So you have to be very honest with yourself and see what you absolutely have to prioritize. And sometimes you'll have to let go certain things that aren't as important to you. So it's really up to you how you want to manage your time, but you definitely do have to prioritize your schoolwork and the most important commitments. So you can't do it all, unfortunately. Maybe you can, but it depends from person to person how much you can handle. And that's something I've come to learn in my third year as well. And I'm still learning. There's only so much you can do, but just take it one step at a time. Don't try to overload yourself or else that will be like causing you burnout. So just being wary of that as well.
Perfect. Another question we have here, and it looks like this question is specifically for either Emilio or Nadia. How did your experiences, internship experience, etc., in healthcare influence the route that you want to pursue?
So I can take it, or you can go a little bit after. But I know for me personally, a lot of the experiences that I've had with people in healthcare are because I'm a student athlete on campus on the soccer team. So getting to work with and communicate with all of the trainers that I run into, physicals that we get with doctors, and talking to physical therapists as well when you're going through rehab for different injuries and stuff like that. Obviously, we have a wonderful medical school here that's associated with the university. And on top of that, there are great programs, graduate programs for athletic training as well. So many of the staff that they have here are actually students at the university as well that are in either graduate programs or interns in undergraduate programs. But really getting the opportunity to speak with them and pick their brains has honestly been something that's given me a lot of clarity, just because for me at least, getting the opportunity to sit down and talk to people about questions that are more personal, because I've found that I value a lot of that work-life balance. So being able to talk to people about those things and zero in on where I would get certain opportunities versus where I wouldn't has really been the greatest experiences for me, definitely.
Perfect. Thank you. Nadia, did you have anything to add to that, or?
I mean, just basically what Emilio said. I think it's really important to network. Like, I was able to meet an alumni through LinkedIn, and her experience just going through the med school process and being a pre-med student. So just utilizing that as one platform, just talking to people who are already invested in this field, you get a sense of, oh, maybe this is actually what I want to do. But yes, like I said, it requires initiative. You need to talk to people, and also look for experiences. Like Ursula said, there's a lot of summer internships that I'm currently looking at as well, to get that clinical aspect of the healthcare industry.
Perfect. Thank you. And last question for now. I guess I'll ask this to Ursula. I'll bring it back to you. But looks like someone wants to know, are Stony Brook students able to get into the workforce after finishing their undergraduate programs easily?
Absolutely. I have to tell you that the most important part, as we discussed the skills in demand in terms of what employers are looking for, are the skilled students who present assets that they will bring to the table. So I wanted to tell you that when we have a student who is not engaging themselves in any type of experiences from freshman year until the senior year, and we have a student who does a little bit of some experiences every semester, definitely this student is going to be more equipped with qualities, accomplishments, and skills that will be presentable to employers, and they will not have any problems finding opportunity. I always say to students, sometimes they feel like, you know, I'm looking for this dream job. Sometimes the dream job doesn't happen right after graduation, but you slowly will start with something that you are interested in and get to the dream job in a few years. So, or some students, on the other hand, they will get into the dream job right after graduation. So you never know, because you never know who you meet along the way. But networking connections, gaining experiences, getting yourself involved is so crucial these days, more important than GPA is important, absolutely, there's no question about that, but skills are on the same way in terms of importance right now, especially in terms of employers and what they're looking for. So I would highly encourage students who come to Stony Brook freshman year, fall semester, coming to us, talking to other peers, getting themselves in small steps in different opportunities to establish all of the accomplishments that our juniors right now have, who we have on the panel. I don't know if Tara, you have anything else to add?
I think too, the most important thing about making sure that you are able to secure an experience when you graduate is thinking about, so what we find, we have students who are coming to us freshman year, right? And they're really awesome by the time they graduate. But then there's some students who wait and they aren't setting themselves up with experiences. So starting yourself as early as possible, getting as much experience as you can as early as possible, even if you aren't quite sure yet, is going to make such a big difference. So we didn't touch on it yet, actually, but we also have 3 to 4 job fairs every single semester with off-campus employers. We've been doing them all virtually right now. You can do it all right through Handshake, and you can select time slots to talk to whatever employers you want, right? So we bring these employers to you so you have an opportunity to connect. So we have those job fairs that are industry specific, right? We have one for IT and engineering, one for healthcare, research and human services, one for business. And then we also have the on-campus job and internship fair if you're looking for something specifically on campus. So even if you're not sure if you want to work, just coming to these and starting to talk to employers and practicing and seeing what's out there is going to make such a big difference when it comes to actually finding something when you graduate.
Absolutely. And we see often that students do hesitate because they feel like I have time. That's what they think. And then I always, when I do presentation sessions with students, I always talk to freshmen and I talk to seniors. And I ask seniors one question: tell freshman peers how quickly the 4 years went by. So now I wanted to ask you guys, Daphne, Nadia, Waverly, and Emilio, how fast the 3 years went by.
It went so fast, honestly. Sometimes I look back and I'm in shock that I'm already a junior and that my time at Stony Brook is coming to an end so fast. It flies by with each semester, and you don't realize it until you are years down the line that time is like running out and that you're almost at graduation.
Exactly. And I wanted to ask any of you, if you can answer a question, would you have done anything differently as a freshman? So let's say you're going back to freshman year right now. What would you done differently? Nadia?
That's an easy one. I would utilize the Career Center. I know we're being super repetitive, but it's so true. Like, I didn't utilize it to its fullest extent at all. I think the only time I went my freshman year was to get my resume done, and I was like, oh yeah, I have enough. Like, I have so much time to figure out like what I'm going to do with my life. And I thought, yeah, pharmacy. I just came in thinking that's what I was going to do, and clearly that's not what I'm passionate about. And I think like my life-changing moment that affected my career decision is actually when I started Future Ready my sophomore fall semester. And I learned, I started getting more clarity about how to navigate my career search. Like I mentioned earlier, I didn't really have people who guided me through that. It wasn't until I joined this program, I realized, it's not one big revelation. Your career search, you're constantly learning about yourself, and that requires self-awareness. And I wasn't very self-aware of what my interests were. And I'm very grateful to all the people who supported me, including Ursula and Katie, who were there from the very beginning and who are still helping me, find different opportunities on campus and off campus. So yeah, come to the Career Center, talk to us. We'd be happy to help you. That's definitely the first thing I recommend for sure.
And Waverly, do you have anything that you would have done differently? I know that you started not so long ago.
Actually, I would say to not be afraid to get involved and do things that you may not have thought of or done maybe in high school in a previous experience. This is a time for trying something new. And sometimes I always wanted to bring someone with me to go to a new event. I wouldn't want to go by myself. But that's okay going by yourself. You learn how to be independent, and you also meet other people there who may be interested in what you're interested in, as well as learning new things from them. So I say, don't be afraid to get involved. Everyone is super welcoming and open, and they want you to learn, and they'll listen to you and help you grow.
Thank you. Emilio, do we have any other questions from students?
Yes, we definitely do. So it looks like we have a question here. As freshmen, are you assigned a college advisor that sets up a date with you at the Career Center?
That's a great question. You are assigned an advisor, but in terms of regular advisor, not the Career Center advisor. So you definitely, it would be up to you to come and knock on the door, or, on the computer, schedule an appointment with us. We have plenty of appointments and drop-in hours available to students. So at any point, we have students who join Stony Brook in the fall semester, and within 1 week, they are in our office. And we are very welcoming. We open our door in the first 2 weeks of every semester with no appointments. You just come to the office. Hopefully we're going to be back in, in person in the fall semester. But if not, we have plenty of open appointments that you can sign up for, and we will be happy to assist you to start your journey at Stony Brook.
Perfect. Thank you. It looks like we have another question here involving internships and credits. So do we have to pay for the credits offered with specific internships?
I'm so impressed with this question because a lot of our students who are actually older, who are finishing, they don't even know that, you know, just as an advice would be, yes, in the fall and spring semester, all credits that you take, up to 19 credits are part of your full-time tuition. When you are on part-time basis, then you would have to pay per credit. But when you are on full-time basis, this would be part of the tuition. So basically, for example, students register for 12 credits, and they would like to take 3 credits of an internship course or academic internship. You will be able to then sign up for 3, you will be winding up with 15, and you don't have to pay extra money for the internship for credit. However, when the summer comes, summer is a different term. Summer, when you take any classes, including internships for credit, you pay tuition per credit. So that's not very popular term for our students to enroll in internships for credit because they would have to pay for it. When students get paid internships, then can pay for credits. But if they get unpaid internships, it's sometimes challenging for them to enroll in credit-bearing internships in the summer, but all depends on the specific case.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ursula. Looks like we have another question here. Are there any job advantages for students in honors programs, or maybe even the medical scholars program or anything of that nature? Is there any specific job advantages for those students?
Absolutely. Within these programs, you will have specific, I'm going to give an example. Let's say honors college. They create different panels of physicians who come and talk about, you know, how they got into their own fields, what specialties they are in. There are special programs, research programs that are, you know, coordinated for these students. So some special programs like EOP program, CSTEP program, honors college, or others, they will have specific opportunities only open to their students, but all depends on the specific program. But there are different programs that students can be part of, like Nadia mentioned and Emilio mentioned. DPLN is one of the programs that we manage through our office, but we work with other partners on our campus and with industry employers. The Future Ready is the program, Future Ready Student. It's open to first generation women in STEM. It's a great program to start exposure to different types of opportunities and experiences. So there are other programs that are open to all of the students outside of the special programs that you are admitted into.
Perfect, thank you. It looks like that's all the questions to read out loud for right now.
Okay, so maybe we can ask, we're getting closer to the end. So I want to ask one question of our students panelists. Are there any resources that you would suggest to our incoming freshman class? Any special resources that you took advantage of? Nadia?
The academic tutoring success center. If you need help, I think a lot of students, and this was me too, my freshman year, I had trouble with Calc 2. I took Math 132. I don't recommend take the AMS version, but I try to do that by myself. I think I was so not used to asking for help in high school that I just didn't do that. My first year, I was like, I don't want to ask for help. I should know this stuff, but no, there is a free service. You already pay for it in your tuition, so take full advantage of whatever resources the school provides, and that includes free tutoring. You can do like a weekly tutoring session depending on whatever topics you need help with. Yeah, just take advantage. If you need help, go get it. Don't be scared. They're there to help you, and it will only benefit you at the end. So definitely use that service.
Thank you, Nadia. Anyone else? Waverly?
I would say Dabney mentioned a little earlier that she was an undergraduate college fellow. So fellows are a great resource. They are sophomores in your undergraduate college. They're a great resource. They have lots of information like on the Career Center, on different places around campus like academic advising, and where you can get help in any place that you may need. And they were in your place in less than a year ago, so they know exactly how you're feeling and can talk to you and relate to you on a one-on-one student down-to-earth level.
Thank you. Emilio or Daphne, anything else that you can add in terms of resources?
Yeah, I think I would just add kind of in the same vein, and I think you'll find it's a common theme with students at Stony Brook, but it is a place where you're surrounded with pretty incredible peers. And so for me, it was going to a lot of those office hours that are held by your TA at times. That's a really great resource because, I mean, I know personally now I've TA'd a couple classes. You're not allowed to TA a class unless you've gone through it, right? So it's one of those things where you're going to get the opportunity to get advice and talk to people who've taken a class that you might be struggling in, and understand a little bit about their perspective, about how they managed to succeed in it. And it doesn't have to be as soon as you're struggling, but even if you go in right away, I know that I'm sitting in my office hours sometimes. If somebody just wants to come in, say hello, like get to know me a little bit better, it just makes things a lot easier for you in terms of understanding maybe how you should attack and approach certain classes, especially when you're in a big lecture hall class with maybe 400, 500 kids. You're walking in as a freshman and you might not know anybody else. So knowing that you have your TAs there who were doing that like a year ago, just like you, is a great resource that I think I would recommend to anybody.
Thank you.
And just one last resource I would definitely mention is take advantage of Handshake while you're ahead and while you're starting off, because a lot of people don't realize that the Career Center is regularly hosting and posting both Career Center events being held at Stony Brook and employer events. And this is a really great way to get your foot in the door for internships or just connecting with employers and growing your network. I wish I took advantage of it sooner because it's through company events and these different like professional development events that you're able to first develop your LinkedIn so that you can reach out to other people, but also so that you can connect to someone who might be able to lead you to your next opportunity. So I would recommend regularly checking Handshake and finding ways to get involved in any type of event that could develop you.
Thank you so much, Daphne. And as a reminder to Tara's comments about Handshake, just remember that you don't have to create even an account in Handshake. You as a freshman, you will be enrolled in the classes. Automatically, you will be added to Handshake. You just have to create a nice profile on the account and start applying for on-campus, off-campus jobs. So that's an easy step to complete in your journey at Stony Brook University.
Hey, Ursula, looks like we have another question here from a student. Is it possible for me to get involved in internships as early as the summer if I am an incoming student for the fall 2021 semester? And if so, how do I do that?
So that's a very good question also. So you would have to be enrolled in the fall semester, but physically you would have to be on campus starting your career. To be engaged in credit-bearing internships. However, I would highly recommend to get yourself involved in internships that not necessarily have to be aligned with credits for the summer, and start applying for different opportunities. The issue is that if some students who are joining our university in the fall semester may not necessarily be registered yet, and they may not have access to Handshake. But you are welcome to reach out to us and we will guide you through the process if you are eager to start your search with internships during the summer. I would highly also recommend Eureka. When you're going to go to Stony Brook University website and type Eureka, U-R-E-C-A, you will be able to get to actually not only college summer research programs, but also high school summer research programs. So there's a lot of resources with listing faculty, physicians, a lot of people who are conducting research at Stony Brook during the summer.
Great, thanks, Ursula.
Any other final questions? So maybe some last words of wisdom from us. I always say to students not to be afraid to reach for opportunities, because a lot of students come from the perspective, I don't have much to offer. I'm a freshman. I'm coming with my high school experiences, but not much to offer to employers. And that's not the case. You have your personality, you have your skills, you have other things that you get involved. A lot of you are passionate about different things. And the most important part of life is to showcase your passion to other people. So don't hesitate, apply yourself, apply for opportunities. And as I always say to our students, do not reject yourself before being rejected. A lot of students are thinking that they are not going to get into their specific opportunities, and what is there to lose? Nothing. You should be proactive and take advantage of different options in your life and move on to the next one. Rejection is part of life. You're going to be rejected from one, you will be accepted into another. And that would be my last advice. I don't know if you have any advice, last advice from our panelists and Tara.
I have advice. So going off of kind of a little bit what Ursula said about being a freshman and feeling like you have nothing to offer, the most important thing that people care about is that you're passionate and willing to learn, right? Everything else is trainable. So in my role as student employment specialist, I work with a lot of freshmen because usually on campus is their first job. So don't be scared. Ask all the questions, contact us as much as possible. And the most important thing is to show that you're passionate and excited, and the opportunities will come to you. So yeah, don't count yourself out, like Ursula said.
Waverly, Nadia, Daphne, Emilio, any last advice to our students before we end the session?
Best of luck in everything you do, and as always, just be ready to like put yourself in uncomfortable situations so that you can eventually become comfortable and then continue to grow and push yourself more from there. So best of luck in everything.
Yeah, I would just say, anybody who's coming in, you'll probably see me around campus next year. So if you ever see me, say hello. Going along with that sentiment, like talking to your peers, which is something we've talked about a couple of times, is really one of the greatest parts of going to Stony Brook. Is really such a great community of people here who I've had the pleasure of working with Waverly and Dabney and Nadia, and they're some of the most driven and hardworking people that I've met. So getting to learn from one another and be inspired by one another is just a wonderful thing. So, try to get involved as much as you can and as comfortable with it, with as much as comfortable as you are as early as you can, because it does go by quickly.
Yeah, and I think one more thing to add is don't be afraid to fail, because an acronym for fail is first attempt in learning. So from there, you always can grow and learn from each situation. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I'm sure we all will be there at some point in our lives, but it's something that we can take away from.
And I just want to share this one quote. I said it earlier today, Emilio knows, but I want you all to remember this, and hopefully maybe it'll give you some motivation. But the quote is, "I am in the process of becoming the best version of myself." And I want you all to remember, college is all about growth. So it's okay if you fail. Failure is just a part of that growth. Yeah, so just remember that, and I wish you best of luck. College is awesome. Just just have fun, and always ask for help if you need it. But remember, you're growing, and that's okay. Whatever comes your way, there's always going to be people to support you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you to Ursula, Tara, and our amazing student panelists with us today. We really thank the Career Center and thank you all for joining us. Stay safe, stay well. And of course, if you have any questions that maybe we didn't get to, you can always reach out to our undergraduate admissions office and email us at enroll@stonybrook.edu. And of course, for any Career Center questions, we'll direct it right over there at the Career Center. So thank you so much. It was an amazing event and thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day and bye-bye.
Thank you. Enjoy your day and welcome.